Hi everyone, and welcome to Practice English Fast. I'm Sophia, and today we're kicking off something exciting, our brand new CELPIP Listening Practice series. If you're getting ready for the CELPIP test, you're definitely in the right place. But before we jump in, don't forget to check out our CELPIP speaking series here on the channel. It's packed with practical tips, tricks, and easy-to-follow templates from Task 1 all the way to Task 8 to help you speak confidently and ace your speaking test. Alright, now let's get started with an overview of the CELPIP listening test. Each part helps test your ability to understand spoken English in different real-life situations, from everyday conversations to news stories and group discussions. The whole listening test takes about 47 to 55 minutes to complete, and remember, listening is the very first part of the CELPIP test. Now, let's talk about how the CELPIP listening test is scored, so you know exactly what to expect. The listening test has 38 scored questions in total. For each correct answer, you earn 1 point. And don't worry, there are no points lost for wrong answers, so make sure to answer every single question. Sometimes, the test might include an unscored section, but you won't know which one it is. That's why it's important to do your best on every part. Your test is scored by a computer, which calculates your CELPIP level based on how many points you earn and the difficulty of the questions you answer. This helps make the scoring fair for everyone. Here's a quick look at the score ranges for each CELPIP level. So, focus on accuracy and keep answering every question. That's the key to scoring well. Don't worry if you're just starting out. Practice and you'll improve your listening skills step by step. All right. Now, let's quickly go over the format of the CELPIP listening test so you know how everything works on test day. Each listening part starts with an audio clip, and then the questions come right after. For every question, you'll see 4 answer choices, but only one is correct, so choose carefully. The great part? During each section, you can change your answers as many times as you want, until the time runs out for that part. But keep in mind, once the time is up, the test will automatically move on, and you won't be able to go back to any previous questions or sections. So make sure you're confident before moving on. Also, a heads up, the listening test is designed to get gradually more difficult from Part 1 through Part 6. So, if it feels a little tougher as you go, don't worry, that's totally normal. Let's talk about what you'll hear during the listening test, the audio features. All the speakers you'll hear are native English speakers, and they all speak with Canadian accents. Since CELPIP is a Canadian test, this helps you get used to the accent you'll hear in real life, too. For conversations with 2 speakers, you'll always hear one male and one female voice, which makes it easier to follow along and tell them apart. Now here's something important. Each audio clip plays only once, so make sure you listen carefully the first time. Also, the audio will start automatically, and you can't pause or replay it. So stay focused and be ready to listen from the very beginning. Alright, let's talk about something that can really make a difference in your listening test, note-taking. Now, here's the good news. At the test center, you'll be given paper and a pen. And if you run out of space, don't panic, just raise your hand and ask for more. It's totally okay. Even if you're advanced in English, taking notes helps. It keeps your brain focused and helps you remember what you heard. But don't try to write full sentences, there's no time for that. Use short forms, symbols, or even your own shorthand. For example, instead of writing, "The woman is talking about a health issue," you can just write, W, health prob. Use arrows for cause and effect. Rain, late to work. Or write initials for names or roles. M equals Mark or F equals friend. Also, write things down in the order you hear them, because the questions usually follow that same order, and it'll help you match your notes later on. You might also want to take notes differently depending on the part. For example, for a news report, you might focus on what happened, when, and why. For a conversation, just catch the main idea and any decisions made. And here's something important. Your notes are just for you. No one sees them. They don't affect your score, so don't stress about how they look. But please, practice before the test. Use actual pen and paper, not a phone or laptop. Writing by hand feels different, and you want it to feel natural on test day. As we've covered note-taking strategies already, now let me tell you which part you really need to pay extra attention to. That's part 5. This section is different from the others because it includes a video. You won't just be listening. You'll also be watching a conversation between 3 people. In this video, you'll see teammates planning a tournament, neighbors organizing a block party, or classmates dividing tasks for a group project. The tone is informal and natural, with facts, opinions, and even some disagreements. So, you'll need to watch their facial expressions and body language closely, as these visual clues will help you understand the full meaning behind their words. Because part 5 combines both listening and watching, it can be a bit trickier, but also a great opportunity to use all your English skills at once. Let's talk about the 3 main types of questions you'll face in the CELPIP listening test. These types are the same in both listening and reading, so once you get the hang of them, you're golden. Type 1, general meaning. These are your big picture questions. You're not looking for one tiny detail, you're being asked to understand the overall idea. So you might see a question like, what are the speakers trying to decide? Or, what is the main purpose of the announcement? This means you need to listen to the whole conversation or section and then figure out what it's really about. Type 2, specific information. These are the detail-focused questions. You'll be asked about something small but important, like a date, a location, or something someone offered or requested. For example, where will the guests meet before the event? Or, what item did the customer return? Just remember, you'll usually find the answer in one specific moment of the audio. So listen closely and take notes if you need to. Type 3, inference. These are a bit trickier. They ask you to read between the lines. You won't hear the answer word for word in the clip. Instead, you'll need to understand the tone, the emotion, or what's likely to happen next. Questions might sound like, how does the woman feel about the new policy? Or, what will the team probably do after the meeting? Listen for clues in the speaker's voice, the way they say something, or what's happening in the situation. So next time you take a practice test, try to ask yourself, is this a big picture question? Is it asking for a specific fact? Or do I need to make an educated guess? Getting familiar with these types will make answering so much faster and easier on test day. Taking notes helps you keep track of names, numbers, and key points, especially in longer audio clips. This is super important in parts 4, 5, and 6 where more information is packed in. Examples of how note-taking helps. What is the manager's final decision about the project? Which item did the woman say she returned last week? What time does the seminar begin according to the speaker? Tip: Use abbreviations and symbols. For example, MTG at 3 for meeting at 3. You'll often need to figure out how people feel about something, even if they don't say it directly. Listen for clues like, "Ugh, that's the third time this has happened. I guess it's fine," if you like long lines. Example: what is the woman's opinion of the new cafeteria menu? How does the man feel about the company's new remote work policy? What is the general attitude of the speakers toward the upcoming project? You might hear a word you don't recognize. Don't panic. Use the rest of the sentence to guess what it means. Strategy: ask yourself, is the word being described positively or negatively? What action or object is it connected to? Example: what does the word overbooked suggest about the hotel's situation? What can be understood about the meaning of drenched from the context? What does the speaker most likely mean when he says the situation is a bit chaotic? Tone tells you how someone feels even if they don't say it directly. Listen for how something is said, not just what is said. Listen for tone and voice like, "That's fantastic." "This is just, what can I say, great." If it even works, that is. Example: how does the woman feel about her coworker's suggestion? What is the tone of the man's response? What emotion does the speaker express when discussing the delayed flight? You won't hear the exact same words in the audio and the answer choices. Learn to spot different ways of saying the same thing. Example of paraphrase.
We decided to push the meeting back to Friday.
Answer: the meeting was rescheduled. Example: what do the speakers mean when they say they're calling it a day? Which option best summarizes what the man says about the new policy? What is another way to express the woman's opinion about the museum? That's a wrap on some of the most important listening skills you'll need to ace the CELPIP listening test. Remember, practicing these strategies will boost your confidence and help you understand every audio clip more clearly. That's a wrap on today's CELPIP listening tips and strategies. Now, I'm leaving you with a short audio and some quiz questions to practice your listening skills. Listen carefully to the paragraph, then try answering the questions. It's a great way to sharpen your understanding and get ready for the test. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss the next video. Keep practicing, stay confident, and I'll see you next time here on Practice English Fast. Good luck! And of course, keep practicing English every day. You're getting closer to your goals with every step. Thanks for watching Practice English Fast. I'm Sophia, and I'll see you in the next video.
In recent years, entomologists across Canada have observed a precipitous decline in native bee populations, particularly in prairie ecosystems. This unsettling trend is attributed to a confluence of factors: rampant urbanization, widespread pesticide use, and climate volatility. One particularly pernicious outcome is the disruption of pollination cycles, which has ripple effects on agricultural productivity. In provinces like Alberta and Saskatchewan, researchers are spearheading initiatives to establish pollinator corridors, designed to bolster the resilience of insect populations by connecting fragmented habitats. Though public awareness remains tepid, conservationists remain staunch in their advocacy, urging legislative reform and sustainable farming practices. Question 1. What is the main concern expressed in the paragraph? A. Insects are migrating to urban areas in Canada. B. Bee populations are declining due to multiple environmental pressures. C. Climate change is causing bees to move to different provinces. D. Farmers are using bees to increase crop yields unnaturally. Question 2. Which of the following best describes the public's reaction to the issue? A. Aggressive and highly vocal. B. Indifferent and unconcerned. C. Mild and not very active. D. Extremely involved in legislative reform. Question 3. What is the purpose of the pollinator corridors mentioned? A. To allow insects to escape urban areas. B. To educate the public on bee species. C. To support insect populations by reconnecting divided environments. D. To stop the use of pesticides in Canadian provinces.